All right, here we go. Welcome everybody to the March edition 2022 of the monthly update. I know I just put out yesterday. I just published or just put out the yearly update for 2022. Actually, what did I say? This is 2023. Did I put 2022 on the I don't know what I did. Anyways, March 2023. Yesterday, I just published the yearly update for 2022, kind of recapping finances, kind of some goals, what's coming up, some of like just the overall big picture things. And this is the second month where I'm going to do a monthly just recap. I'm going to start with like going over like what I did today, and that's going to translate into like what's the fishing been like recently. Just talking to a guy. We got hopefully next month we're going to have I might have a visitor on here, and we'll talk some creek fishing and some kits and stuff like that. It's one of the guys that I work with and a company I get to work for. So hopefully that'll get set up. Yeah, I should be back home. I'm gonna try to do it first Monday of every month. That's the plan. First Monday of every month, I'll do a little recap. Sometimes I'm gonna try to have people on here, a guest, try to break it up, have them, and then we'll talk like what's fishing, maybe what how the creek's doing. I really want to focus on the creeks. Obviously, I'm doing some kayak tournaments, and I will talk about that. And I'll probably have some guys that do kayak tournament stuff. But real quick, I'm going to talk real quick. The first little bit here, I'm going to talk about is what are the creeks doing right now? Because I was out in the creeks today, and what's it been like here recently? And maybe if you're further north, what can you expect? I'm going to talk about that. Then I'm going to talk about some new stuff coming out, like my merch came out, some new rods I got, um, some tournaments coming up. So let's just talk right now. First thing is fishing. If you have comments and you got a question, if you have a question that you would like me to answer on the live stream, that's like maybe an in-depth question. Maybe you're watching this in the future. I should have went back. I forgot to look. I meant to go back and look at my old live stream to see if anybody had left any questions. Leave a question here or send it to me on Instagram. And it's like something maybe you're like, hey, cover this like maybe in more detail in a live stream where I can kind of talk it out and communicate it. And we got 86 people already watching on here. Appreciate if you come on for a couple minutes and kick off or whatever. Anybody that stops by, I appreciate that. So I'm gonna try to do this 45 minutes. So first Monday every month, 45 minutes to an hour. I'm just going to talk through some things. So let's talk about right now what's the creeks doing, because that's what I'm super excited about. So I went out with Julio, the everyday angler. We went to a lake, and I got a lot of comments on there. Appreciate everybody getting on there and comment. I'll try to go through the comments at the end and try to catch up unless if I miss some stuff. But we went to a lake. And it's a little, it's like not private. It's a public lake, but it's a city lake that's got fish in it. And there was a couple guys down this end that were wearing out the crappie, and it's like little bitty channel. I couldn't get down there, so I tried to catch panfish, tried to catch some bass. I ended up hooking I threw a spinner bait, and when it got back in this muddy water, I had a nice bass hit and come off. Nothing else. I get all the way to the other end of this little lake. That's probably like a 10-acre lake. And I caught a spotted bass on a Booyah Melee. It's like a chatterbait bladed jig. I've been messing around with that. That's something I might start throwing more. I've had some good luck the few times I have used that. And I'm just trying to figure out how I want to fish it and what kind of rod. But I bought a bunch of different like the chatterbait styles. There's a bunch of different brands out there, so I've bought a bunch of them because I want to start messing with them. And they work. They catch really good fish, and it's something that I think that I could apply, but I love a spinnerbait. So I fished there like 3 hours. It was like we went around the banks, like they're not on the bank. Those fish were not on the banks at all. Like none of the bass were. I thought they'd be like that lake, a smaller lake, would be a little warmer. They were definitely like somewhere deeper or chasing bait or something. And it's a small little like lake pond, which you'd think there would be some fish on the kind of on the banks. So I went to a creek in Chattanooga that I really like going to. It's got a lot of species because it feeds into like a river. So it feeds into a river, and when I talk about creeks, there's there's so many variations. There's little creeks and there's bigger creeks and there's creeks that feed into this creek that feeds into another creek that feeds into a river that feeds into a lake. I mean, there's so many different variations, and a lot of the creeks, the little creeks that I go to, they're the headwaters of that creek. Like it's coming out of the ground like a mile away from where I'm fishing. Like it's the very like top headwater of that creek where the water gets clear faster. So I don't know if any of y'all had any hurricanes, but man, it got crazy sketchy on, was it Saturday or Friday? Friday. On Friday, the schools around here closed, even like all the schools, they closed, and we had tornado warnings and it poured down rain crazy. So me and Julio were going to fish a big creek and it was flooded still. So it's going back down. So I'm probably going to go to one tomorrow that I'm hoping is back down. I'm going to try. So the weather's been great. The fish are active, pretty active. So this creek I went to, it was still up a little bit. It's pretty high up, and as far as up the creek where I'm at, but I know it's a creek that holds a lot of panfish. A lot of fish come out of the bigger river to come up into it. A lot of different species. I've caught over like 12 different species of fish in different trips. So it holds a lot of fish. So I get into it and the water's flowing. I wade in. I'm using my new Chota Hippies. I love those things. If you haven't seen those Chota Hippies, I'm really liking those. They're so much easier than waders. But so I get in and I walk it and I'm using the lure and I'm moving. I'm kind of using like a little swim bait and I'm moving it kind of fast, just casting and casting. I get down. I probably walk 100 yards and I've had a couple of nips, haven't landed anything. And I'm like, man, I just don't know if the fish are that active in here. I get down to a deeper hole and I see some bass and I'm like, I know there's fish in here. So I switched to another lure I've been using a ton obviously I use Bobby Garland's a lot, but I use the baby bass color. And if some of my videos recently, I've been using, they've been hitting it really good. So I use a little baby bass, Bobby Garland on a 1/16 jig head, I think, maybe in 1/32, I can't remember. And I start dropping it in these deep holes and I caught about 10 or 15 fish, fishing it a little slower and letting it fall, and some really nice red breast, like big fat red breast, couple really nice bluegill. I caught one bass, it was like a 12-inch bass and like real shallow water. So that's a good sign. That's the kind of stuff I'm excited about. They weren't just hammering lures. Like I tried throwing a little spinnerbait. I tried throwing a little swim baits, and I wasn't getting them hitting that. But if I threw something, kind of let it sink. And the bass I caught, I sunk it in a deep hole that was probably 3 foot deep, which is like a really deep hole for that creek. I sunk it in there and like kind of slowly worked it, and then he hit. So the creek fish are coming alive as long as the storms leave us alone. But that being said, you have to really, right now you have to dial it in. I think if you want to like catch a lot, you have to really figure out what it is they're biting. They will bite, but they're not spread out everywhere. They're not just like all over like they will be in summertime. So I've kayaked like 3 days of like full day kayaks on 2 rivers. I went to the Harpeth River in outside Nashville. I did another river. I did something else, and all 3 of those were just super slow. I was fishing with other guys that know like river fishing. We couldn't find fish. I talked to other people. I'm like, I don't know where they're at right now. Like, I think they're in the middle of the river, a lot of them. So if you're fishing creeks, fish slower and in the middle of the creek, maybe up in the current. I caught a really nice smallmouth on the big Nico Helgramite in this creek that every time I go there, I catch a ton of fish. I only caught 3 fish, and I fished it for like 3.5 hours. So if you're catching fish, awesome. But like, it's that time where you can go out and catch a bunch of fish, but at the same time, you can still go out and barely catch anything. So sometimes winter fishing is more consistent. In the spring can be awesome if you get right on them, or it can be really hard to find them because they're all bunched up in a little spot. But they are eating. So the fish are eating. The ones I've been catching, they're like fat and they're eating, but you just really got to dial it in. So that's my creek fishing update and river fishing. As far as river, I'm thinking about trying a river tomorrow. I don't know. I just don't know. It could be awesome, or it's like I could go out there and waste the day. So whenever I'm doing this YouTube, I'm trying to make videos. So I want fun ideas to go out and fish and catch, but I also like want them to turn out, and I want to be able to catch more than like 5 or 6 fish to make a fun video. So I'm trying to pick the right places to go, whether go wading in somewhere, whether take the kayak to a river, whether take the kayak to a lake. I got that little boat. I still want some videos. I want to do some videos on my little bass raider. But anyway, that's my little update. If you got any updates on fish, on fishing, how you're going, that's my update for Southeast Tennessee. And but every creek's different. Like every creek's different. Every stream, you might live in a stream where there's bigger deep holes. You might live in a stream, and like some of these streams in the mountains, they're really hard to fish when it's cold or cool because it takes longer for them to warm up. But let's see here. Let me answer a couple questions, and then I'm gonna talk about some new stuff coming out that just came out that I will be fishing with and using. Brooks Harrell says head up to the New River. Yeah, I think I will be fishing the New River. When do I have that scheduled? Let me look. I don't know for what is that? April the 30th. Like the end of April, I'm supposed to be going up to Virginia, have a trip planned to fish with some other guys. And we're gonna do some kayaking, and I think maybe the New River or maybe the James River. I don't really know where it's at, and I don't even know if those rivers are close together. So I don't know the exact date or exact area. I haven't looked at that yet. But let's see here. Patrick Marbury. Hopefully, I'll be talking to him next month. We're talking about that. He says the creeks and rivers are pretty blown out right now. The rain, northwest Arkansas. Yeah, I just got an email from a guy. He said he's in the Ozark area in Arkansas. He said everything's flooded there too. I will talk about tournaments in just a minute. Zeke, Travis, any plans to come? I need to go to South Carolina. Where did I just saw Carolina Bass Hunter. Tomorrow will be the 4th day in a row of what? I didn't read what you said. Patrick says working on getting the baby bass color in the stroller and the pile diver. Yes, I don't know what it is. I just started using that little baby bass color. It's like a dark green, and it's got some specks in it. I don't have it here, but something about it. I'll try lots of different colors, and something about that, the baby bass and the Bobby Garland. I've just been catching a ton of fish on it. Maybe just because the fish have been coming alive. Maybe because it's so easy for them to see. It's more of a natural color, but it's been working awesome. Zeke says, when's that vid coming out? I don't have any videos edited right now. So I definitely got a video from today. It's still on the GoPro. I haven't even taken it off yet. So I gotta take this off so I can go use my SD cards for tomorrow. I got my GoPros charging up. I'm gonna have a video off that creek coming up. I'll do a video. I still have a tournament that I haven't posted. So I did a tournament on the Hiwassee River. It was on Chickamauga 2 weeks ago, not last weekend, the weekend before last weekend, and it was horrible. I caught a ton of fish. I caught 12 or 13 fish. I only caught 3 keepers. I had to have 5 over 12 inches on the board. I could only catch 3 that were over 12 inches. So I kept the last hour of the tournament. I bet I caught 5 fish, and every one of them was under 12 inches. It was so aggravating. I'm like, yes, another one. Yes, another one. I get it. I'm like thinking they're all going to be. I was just trying to get 5 over 12. Let's see here. A lot of people have commented. Sorry, I might not get to everybody. I'm gonna get to a few though. Angelo says, "Have you ever fished the Watauga River in Elizabethton?" Yes, I have. The first time I ever waded the Watauga in Elizabethton, like right in town, it's freezing cold. First off, like in the middle of the summer, it's freezing cold. I got out in the water. I'm trying to catch some trout. I didn't catch anything, and then I stand there for a minute, and I just stand, and the water is crystal clear, like waist deep. And all of a sudden, like I just like stare into the water for a while. And I saw more. I just started seeing trout everywhere. That place has got more trout than I've ever seen in my life. and they don't even stock brown trout. Like I don't know if they stock the other ones, but like brown trout, they don't even stock them. There's so many they reproduce in there. But yeah, I only fished it a couple times. I'd love to drift it or kayak it to try to get some more trout. Hey, who's your back outdoors? I know. When am I coming back to Indiana? I gotta. Do I have any? I don't have Indiana on the list right now. I gotta go it again. There's too many places to go, and the summer's not long enough. This, if it just stayed like nice all year round, I could get everywhere. Sunday backyard farmer. Is your Instagram the same as your YouTube page? Yes, I got Instagram and Facebook. Let's see here. Hi, John. Thinking about the Crescent Shoaly, Ron Foltz. I love the Crescent Shoaly. I love how versatile it is. I'll use it a ton. I'm going to use it a ton this year. So I was thinking about trying to like make a statement about it, but I'm not going to stand and fish out of it comfortably. So I keep trying. I've done it. I'll stand up in it, stretch out, relax, but it's not a kayak that I am just going to be able to stand and fish out of. So if you want to stand and fish, if that's like a thing, then the Crescent Shoaly is probably not for you. Well, I don't know. I mean, what's his name? I can't think of Drew. Can't think of his name. The guy that designed it, he stands and fishes out of it. He stands and fishes out of it. He's got a motor on it on the back. He's got like a stick steer thing. I saw a video on it. It's crazy. And like he stands and like maneuvers, but I think he's shorter. I think he's shorter than me. But just getting it into places and maneuvering and paddling up current. I went out with some guys recently where they were in a regular like kayak. One of them was in an Old Town 106 and without the pedal drive in it. And then I was in my Shoaly and I'm like, I can turn around, go upstream, do all this stuff like it's effortlessly. And he's like struggling. We talked about it afterwards, and it's definitely a big difference. Let's go to the next thing, and I'll try to get the comments. I'm sorry, I'm gonna miss a lot of people, but let's see here. Goodness, Seth Johnson Outdoors says caught 90 yellow bass today. I may have to get back over there, Seth. I'm gonna get back over there with you. I'm trying to get to the creeks and do a lot of stuff around here. But so what's going on? So I got 4 rods from TFO recently. So Temple Fork Outdoors. Was it last week? I think it was last week. They said they were going to send me. I got them in last week. So I got an ultralight rod, a walleye rod. That's a medium light, 6.6 medium light, a 6-foot ultralight, a 6.6 medium light, a bass rod that I've used the ultralight. If you've seen my videos, you may have seen it already. And I've already used the bass rod. It's a Tactical Bass Elite. It's a $200 rod, but they make it in a 610 medium or medium fast, and it's pretty. I like it. It fits the way I like to fish. It's like that 6'10", 6'9" size is what I like for like bass for using out of my kayak or for wading. So, and it's got a shorter handle. And they sent me a 6.6 light. So I'm real thankful for them. I'm gonna use those rods and show them. Also, I got Fenwick sent me 2 rods. I got a guy I know. He sent me 2 rods from Fenwick, which were the Elite Bass rods. I think they're $169. One of them's a casting rod. One of them's a spinning rod. They're both 7 foot. And I also sent me some reels. So I got a couple, the Revo and the Revo X and the Revo STX, something like that. But anyways, I've been showing those in videos, and you know, I've been able to get some stuff like that for some companies. Just to kind of show them. And I've talked about it in my update. I buy all kinds of rod and reels. Like I want to try as many different ones as I can. I'm always trying them. I'm going to try not to buy. I'm not buying anything this year. My goal is not to buy any rod and reels. And I mean, I don't get paid from any rod and reel companies. And I'm like, you know what? I probably have enough. I'm going to sell some of the ones I have because I've bought tons. Sell some of the ones I have. Keep the ones that people have given to me, and just keep the ones that I'm going to use. And like get them dialed in. I'm trying to get a casting rod. I'm getting a lot better at my casting setups and working on that. So I'm like, I want a spinning setup. I mean, a casting setup for a spinnerbait, casting setup for a crankbait, and then I want a casting setup for like topwater or like a buzzbait. And I'm just kind of like trying to like what reel do I put on what rod? Do I put braid? Do I put like mono, fluoro? So I'm trying to learn all that. What else happened? Oh, this right here. Let me show you this. The new bait bag is out, and I haven't been able to do a video. I'm gonna try to do a video on it tomorrow, but Patrick told me that there's not that they've already sold a bunch. So this is the LureNet bait and school bag, and they come out every 2 months. So this is the March-April edition, and I'm not going to show you everything that's in there because you can look it up, and I'm planning to do a video on it. But this, I'm like super excited about this. This has got like everything I use. Like you don't need much more than this for the most part if you're just trying to go out and catch some bass. This is all for bass, really. Spinnerbait, crankbait, yum dingers. There were some 3-inch swim baits, jerk baits. Yeah, so it's pretty set. So if you want to buy one of these, you can go to lurenet.com, and it's in the Banking Creek section, and it's called the Bait School Bag. They said they sold a bunch of them, so there should be a few left probably. So by the time I get my video out, there probably won't be any left on them. And but they're really cool. I like them. I've been using the bag after I use it. Like I'll take whatever I'm not using and I'll just put stuff in here, like just in the bag part for like throwing in my bag. Maybe soft plastics. Sometimes I'll put like just this bag, like my batteries and some electronics and then stuff like that in there. But I'm thinking about kayaking somewhere tomorrow and just taking that kit and trying to use it. I just want the fish to be aggressive, but you gotta go out there to try. You don't never know what you're gonna catch till you go out there. I was out fishing for Arago in Russellville, Arkansas. 2 crappie, 1 bass. There you go. Good job, Patrick. Anyone know how the Yum Hellgrammite are compared to the Nico? Good question. Oh, I got to show you this. I don't even know how I forgot. So check this out. I'll go ahead and show it to you. Although you can't buy it yet. This right here. There's the new Yum Hellgrammite. And I'll go ahead and show them to you. There's Patrick. Are you on here? He might. Patrick. Okay. Sean, the Yum Hellgrammite is a fish catching machine. It caught more smallmouth on it than anything else last year. Yeah, he's the one that helped create it, so he likes it. Yes, I've caught a lot of fish on it. I had these Hellgrammites in the summer, and I didn't say it because I wasn't allowed to say anything about it. And I didn't tell you, but I took them to a river, and I caught a 3-pound smallmouth on it. I caught a bunch of smallmouth on them. They're not the same material as the Nico ones, so don't compare them to like they're their own thing. They're 3 inches. I've been waiting to get a bunch of them just so I can use them. I am going to use them on this jig head. This is the owner blockhead. This is the jig head. This is the hook that I use for the Yum Dingers. I use a 1/16 ounce most of the time, sometimes a 1/8 ounce. But the thing about these hooks are real thin, and they're not a real thick hook. So they're got a real thin point to them. And I will more than likely use them on these and just hook it up weedless because these are offset. You can hook them up weedless. That's how I plan to use these, and that's how I did it. I've already done it in rivers and in lakes, and I've caught fish. Now, are they going to tear? Yes, they will. Ready? Oh, boom! They're going to tear. So they're not like that. I mean, that wasn't easy. I pulled on that, but they're not like the most durable. They're not as durable as Nico or like that or Z-Man stuff. But guess what? There you go. There's a 1.5-inch little bait that I'm actually might just use that right there. I like that because that right there is a perfect size little like creature bait that you can catch a bunch of stuff on. So if you are wanting to you're like, I don't like the 3-inch ones. Well, there you go. There's a 1.5-inch or 2-inch ones, but they're still durable enough to hold up. I've caught several fish on them, but yes, they're going to tear. Do they work? They work. I can guarantee it. And I've used them, so I'm excited about using them a lot more here pretty soon. As far as like putting a lot of work into them and trying them out a lot to kind of really see where I want them. So some people want a soft plastic that's soft. Some people want a soft plastic that's durable. There's different reasons for that, and I've seen both. Like sometimes you don't want that lure to catch, and you want to be able to poke it, through. So if anybody's interested in these new Yum Hellgrammites, they're in the bait school bag. If you that's how you can get them first, and then they will be available soon on LureNet. Let's see here. How much do they cost? The bait school bag. I think they're $39.99. Thanks, Sean. Oh yeah, I do have a discount code, and you can get 15% off. Dalton 15. It's in I don't know if it's in this video description, but it's in my regular video description. So yeah, if you're gonna look in there, go do it. Let's see here. Also, I don't know how much these are going to be. I'm excited to see. So be staying tuned. Soon as this stuff's out and available, I will be letting everybody know as much as I can. And plus, you can follow LureNet and stuff like that. But I will try to let you know because I'm excited about it. I love a new pack of lures, and I love Hellgrammite lures. Let's see here. I'm going to answer a couple more questions. Love the micro finesse lures, mule fishing, and Lure Tackle. Yes. I found a new company. They sent me some lures. And if you're looking for... Hold on. If you're looking for some, finesse, micro style lures, I love, all the brands. Mule fishing makes awesome stuff. Euro Tackle makes some really cool stuff. Some of their stuff scented and different things. Here's another one. These are little 2-inch swim baits I've been messing with, and they're really, really awesome. What's the name of it again? Hold on. Somebody sent me this. Moondog Bait Company. So if you're interested in supporting little local or not local, little tackle shops that make little micro creek stuff, these little 2-inch swim baits are really. I've caught a lot of fish on them already. I've talked about them in a few videos, but Moondog Bait Company, Creek Life Lure Company is making some cool little small baits. So there's a lot of stuff, a lot of companies out there that get to that make some small little baits, and who knows, maybe I'll have my own one day. Okay, so the Hellgrammites are going to be $329 for an 8-pack. Wow, that's pretty good. So yeah, so this is going to be a softer material where you're going to tear them up. Fish are going to tear them up, just like most soft materials. But they're going to be able. They will catch you some fish. Do you ever fish Bluegrass Lake in Knoxville? Never have. Never heard of Bluegrass Lake in Knoxville. Dan says, John, can you provide more about the sunglasses you wear fishing? I have a couple ones. These are Toro, and they were sent to me. I don't have I would like to work with a sunglass company so I can recommend them and make money. I have to think that. So a thing on my channel that's going to change is I am going to try to make money off my channel this year. I know it's crazy. Not to just overdo it, but if I'm recommending something, I want to be able to make some money off of them. So I don't work with Toro, but they sent me this for free. They're like, hey, you want these? Okay. I like these because they are so bright. They make things bright. If you fish in creeks where there's a lot of overhang, a lot of shade, you want some polarized glasses that are bright, that are not dimming everything down. Or maybe it's low light. You like fishing at night, or not night, but say at the evening and it's getting dark. You can wear these till the sun goes down and still see into the water. Now, the ones I typically use are Spider Wire from Walmart. They're $13. Super cheap. I've broken a bunch. I've lost a bunch. And but they work. I mean, but they're tinted. They're like a light tint, a little bit darker than this, but they're just what is that yellowish tint, and it's pretty bright where you can see when in shaded areas, because I like fishing in like overhang. If you ever fished in like a really shaded area and you have like dark sunglasses, you can't see anything. It's like super dark in there. So having glasses like that really help you out. And I rely so much on like polarized glasses now. I've gotten so comfortable using them where I want to be able to see everything I can see, because I rely so much on sight when I'm fishing, especially in creeks. I got to see what's going on. You got to take it all in. I got to hear, I got to see, I got to get zoned in and just like, what is going on? I'm trying to put all the pieces together. Are fish darting? Are they over here moving? Are they in the middle of the creek when I'm walking or I'm kayaking? Are they moving around? I need to see what's happening so I know what's going on. Are they following my bait? Are they coming after my bait and like slowly and then turning away, or stuff like that? So if you don't wear polarized glasses, I suggest just go and buy some cheap ones to start with. Let's see here. I was shocked how good they are. I bought 300 sunglasses. Oh yeah, $300 sunglasses probably. The spider wire, they're. I mean, hopefully they're not like ruining my eyes, but for like, I think they're $15 at the most. Like you just, it's you can't go wrong with them. I want to buy some like nice ones. Like I think these are $100 something dollars, and you can tell these are real. Like these are nice. The spider wire ones can like the lens will pop out on you like just randomly, and they scratch real easy. Like things like that. They're just cheap, but they're cheap, so easy to have. So we need to go on to kayak tournaments coming up. So I have 2 kayak tournaments coming up this month. I just reserved a room with a buddy, and we're gonna go stay overnight, or we're gonna stay overnight so we can fish Dale Hollow. So I got a kayak tournament on Dale Hollow on the 11th. So this Saturday, this Saturday. This Saturday I'll be fishing Dale Hollow. So I'm gonna try to go up and fish Friday to kind of find out what's going on. I have never kayaked Dale Hollow. I've only fished it with Tyler Reed Angling. We fished it probably 6 or 7. I probably fished it 6 or 7 times at least with him. And I've had days where I've caught some really good fish. My PB smallmouth is still off there. It was like I forget, 4.6 pounds or something like that, 4.65. So I still got my PB smallmouth off there. We had a day where I caught like 2 4s and like some largemouth and some like a bunch of smallmouth and like a couple big crappie. And then I've had days where we fished like 9-10 hours and I've caught like 2 fish. It's I don't know much about it, but I'm excited. I do these kayak tournaments, especially on new lakes, just to push me to learn something. And I want to be familiar with stuff like that. It's not the most fun thing. If I could go float a river or wade a creek, I would 10 to 1 rather do that over fish a lake. But it's fun to do these competitions. I go, meeting up with people. We're hanging out. We're doing fun stuff, and I'm learning as far as like bass fishing. The second kayak tournament I got coming up is a national. I get to fish the biggest kayak tournament I've ever been a part of, probably ever will be a part of, is the Bass Nation kayak tournament on Chickamauga Lake, which is like the lake it's like 30-40 minutes from my house. It's 2 days on 20. It's Wednesday and Thursday, 22nd and 23rd. And then that weekend is the Bass Nation boat tournament. Like, what's it called? I just got an email from a guy. I'm supposed to go meet up. Where where they do the big whatever it's called, bass kayak or bass boat tournament, where all the people. So I'm gonna try to go up to that. So if you're gonna be up at the the boat tournament, I know people can go. You can just go up and like hang out. There's supposedly a lot going on. You can watch the boats blast off, I guess. Like, what time do the boats blast off? I might not be there for that. I may be a little too early. But no, I'm going to try to go up to that after the kayak tournament. If I get top 10 in this kayak tournament, then I get to walk on stage where the bass boat guys, walk on stage like you've probably seen on TV. Do I expect to get top 10? Not at all. Drew Gary, that's the guy that designed the Shoalie. Like he called me about it, and he was asking me questions about it, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get to fishing that too. So there's gonna be like this is gonna be like big time. There's a lot of big time kayak tournament. I just happened to do really good in a tournament to be able to qualify. So I was meant to Craig Carla, I meant to message you about coming and fishing the 11th. I kept aiming to do it, but if you want to come fish, we're doing a kayak tournament on this Saturday. Come down there. But I need to come up there and fish with you. But anyways, the Bass Nation is the biggest kayak tournament I'll probably ever be a part of. It's like I don't even know what the payout has to be like $10,000 or more, like first place, because it's $400 just to get into this tournament. I didn't even know that until like a couple weeks ago. So I got to pay that. I got to pay that really quick before there's a deadline. So I'm about to pay my entry fee, fish 2 days. I just want to catch fish. I just want to get a limit both days just to give me something. The water's low. So I like Chickamauga and I fish around it a lot and I fish a lot of the creeks. But when the water is low for the winter pool, like all those creeks are so shallow, you can't go up into. There's like 90 creeks there's only like a couple creeks that you can kayak up into. So I don't know where I'm going to fish, which area of it, but I'm gonna do it. Yes. I'm jumped in on somebody's conversation. We don't really look because of that. I don't know what we're paranoid about. Where's busting fins? I don't know. I just jumped in on a conversation. I don't know what happened. All right. If you got any questions, say you got something. Maybe you put it up earlier and I didn't see it. Go ahead and put it on right now. When are you fishing the next tournament? March or the 11th, this Saturday, I'm going to Dale Hollow. Then the 22nd, 23rd, I have a Chickamauga tournament national. So the Dale Hollow one, there'll probably end up being 40 to 50 people in that tournament. And it's a more of a local stuff. And then the Chickamauga one, it's a invitation only. So you had to qualify for it. And there's probably, I don't know, I think there's going to be 150. So I'm going to try to like find a place that, hopefully nobody's there and I can fish it to myself and catch some good ones. There's going to be people catching giants because there's somebody's probably, there's people putting up 95 inches both days probably because there's a lot of big largemouth and smallmouth and Chickamauga. So hopefully I can just do decent. If I could get like top 25, I would impress myself. That would be surprising. Rain's coming this week. I know that the way the rain's been coming up and down, the water's been up and down. So some of them, but the how low the lake is 10, 12 feet to get to full like pool. And when it's low, it just some of the creeks you can get up into a little bit, but most of them you can't go very long. As far as kayak tournament videos, I have one that I haven't edited yet. And the last kayak tournament video, I only caught 3 fish. I didn't really want to post the video. I was like, those videos don't do that great. I mean, I got like 10, 11,000 views, which is a lot of views, but like a normal video gets 15 to 20. But I still try to post them just kind of show like I'm struggling and I'm out here just trying things. So I had back-to-back weeks where I did tournaments, and then this next tournament, I have the footage. I haven't edited it into a video yet. I might put it out there. And like I said, it was the day I caught a bunch of fish, but they were all small. So Josh says, how are you liking the TFO trout and panfish ultralight? I'm really liking the ultralight rod. So I have the 6-foot ultralight and a 6.6 light. There's not a big gap in the difference in those rods. So they're not far off from each other. So I've been using that 6-foot ultralight, and right now I got 2-pound line on it and a real small Fluger reel, and I hate that reel because it's so small and like you have to spin it so fast. So I'm probably going to put a bigger reel, and I think I'm going to put 6-pound braid and a 4-pound leader on that ultra rod. I think that would be a really fun setup. And I can still cast little lures. I can still so I'm probably going to change out that reel and put some braid on it, and I think that'd be fun on that. David says, "How long does it take to edit an average video?" Man. So just editing 2 to 3 hours. Everything involved. So right now, I went out and waded that creek that I talked about earlier. Now I've only fished that creek for a couple hours, so that video is not going to be very long. So I take the footage of this, I put it on my hard drive, transfer it all. I go through a lot of it, but I transfer it, save it, bring it up to my Wondershare Filmora Wondershare editing software, whatever it's called. Bring that files in. Take the video that's on my phone and pictures and stuff where I've released fish and I did intros and stuff. I bring that over to, bring it all there, lay it out, start going through editing. It'll probably only take me an hour to do that video because it's not real long. Then I'm going to go back. Do I want to add music? Do I want to add cuts? Do I want to add this? I go back, then I go back, watch it again, cut out any other little things I need to cut out. Then once I'm all done, I hit what's it called? I forget what the word is. It like turns it into a video. So it turns that everything I've cut all up into a video. Take that video, upload it to YouTube, add my title. I have to go make a thumbnail on a separate website, add my thumbnail, put information in there, put the links to rods, reels, lures, everything, anything I want to add in there. Wait for it to load. That doesn't take too long either. Like the loading itself, I just and all that. So by the time I'm done, I can have 5 hours easy into a video. The one from today will probably take me 3.5 at the most. But then like my kayak tournament ones, they take me 4 or 5 hours, like for the whole thing, from taking it from my GoPro to hitting, schedule for Monday at 5 o'clock. That can take 5 hours. Chasing the I would start inside Solid Daisy. Yeah, I need to fish that area. I can pre-fish the week before the tournament. So, but I can't right now. I'm off limits right now. Oh, you know it. I'm definitely gonna have my bubblegum yellow swirl. That'll be the main thing that's gonna be in my hand. I've never used one. I heard they're solid rods. Fish Anything, Ethan says they're pretty good. Haven't used it. Let's see here. All right, here's a good question. Old Town Topwater 106 or Crescent Shoaly? Let's see. The topwater, you're not talking about a pedal drive. You're talking about just a regular topwater. Okay. This is a good question. Here's a good comparison. So if you're talking about just the regular, not the pedal drive, just a regular 106, the Old Town Topwater 106 is 10.5 foot long. It's $1,000, I believe. And the Crescent Shoaly, if you're looking at the Shoaly, it's $1,500 and it's 11.5 foot long. Now they make a Crescent. It's not CK. The CK1's 11 foot. They make another one that's like a 11.5 foot. The Shoaly is way faster in the current. If you want to go up current, if you're fishing current, the Shoaly is way better. If you want to fish lakes and you want to stand and be super comfortable, the 106 is probably better. The Old Town Topwater 106 is a really, really good all around kayak. Like you can go down rivers, you can do river floats, you can do lakes, you can do a lot. But the Shoaly, I would say if you really want to dial it in, you really are worried about how, like you want to paddle it fast. It's way faster paddling on a lake or river. It handles better in current. It's going to go down rapids better. So, but if you want a kayak that you're more likely going to use on the lake, and it's something where you just really want to be super comfortable, stable, the top water is your better option. Bill says, "Do you have recommendations for low cost rods, reels for beginners wanting to panfish?" You know what? I want to do a video. So I had to do jury duty like a couple months ago, and I got a check here for $44. That's what I got paid for the days I had to go in for jury duty. So I had to go in 4 days. Yeah, it's $11. They give you $11. One day I stayed there for 10 hours. One day I was there for like 2 hours. One day I just went in and went out and left. And I think another day I was just in there a little while. So I got $44, and I got this check here for $37.15. And I don't even know what it's from. It's some kind of commission sales. I don't even know what company, because it's like the name of it's some like third party. I'm thinking about taking these checks. What is that? 40 and 37, 80, $81. 44 there. I got $81. I was thinking about taking that, cashing it, and like take it to Academy or somewhere, and like trying to do a pan fishing ultralight setup with rod, reel, lures, like budget fishing for like 80 something dollars. And I think I can do it. It's not the best to buy the cheapest stuff. Like I don't know. There's a lot. And what is a budget? Well, you said this says low cost, so I mean, $30-$40 for a reel, $30-$40 for a rod is decent stuff. Like you can catch fish with that. I've done a lot. The Fluger makes, I think, a reel for like 30 something dollars. There's several rods out there that are Bass Pro. I was at the Bass Pro in Nashville, and it's got a lot of stuff. But they got a whole rod section, like $30 rods. And some of them are like light action stuff. The problem is those are just, when you're spending that much money, it's just really poor quality, but you can do it. Who had what's it? Cast King actually has some decent quality stuff for not too expensive. Some rods in the $50 range. They're not terrible rods, and some reels in the $40 range. Not terrible. Let's see here. Thank you, Ron. Love the tournament videos. I went through a lot of comments recently, and I'm probably about to end this here in just a couple minutes. So appreciate everybody watching. 144 people watching. Wow, that's a lot of people. Hopefully come back next month, and I think next month will be fun. So once a month doing this kind of recap and talking stuff, and next month we'll probably really talk a lot more into creek fishing, because it ought to be like full blown creek fishing. I'm talking about like creek chubs, green sun. I haven't caught a green sunfish yet this year. That's when I know creek fishing is alive. And when I catch a green sunfish. Now certain places, fish or Itching to Fish out there in Arkansas, he catches green sunfish all the time. They have a lot more green sunfish, but like around me, like the green sunfish are like the last fish to like come alive, and it's like, oh, here they are. So I don't think I've caught one this year, although they should be showing up pretty soon the way it's getting warm. But anyways, the tournament videos. So I think half my viewers are like split. So a lot of my tournament videos, they don't do well, but a lot of people love them a lot more than the creek videos, and then a lot of people like the creek like wading and bank fishing video than tournament videos. But that's why I'm not making videos to please people. I'm gonna make the videos on what I want. Yes, I want people to be happy, and I kind of try to please people, but I'm at the same time, I'm gonna make the videos that I'm gonna want to make that try to just show fishing and stuff like that. How I feel like I should do it. Let's see here. We'll get through these last comments and I'll end this out. I appreciate that. Sometimes I feel like I just stuck. It's good to see that it's really just hard fishing. Yeah. It's the fishing this year has been, the fishing this last week and a half for me has been very wildly up and down. And I've fished at least every other day, and a lot of days, several days in a row, and it's really where you're at. The fish are out there. It's just being in the right place. Fishing today unexpectedly broke a new loose rod casting. Seems like a manufacturing flaw. I've broke a lot of loose rods, and I've broke a lot of rods. And I tell you what, every rod I broke has probably been a $50 or less rod. So, um, rods are gonna break. They're I've never broke I have a bunch of rods now over $100, and I don't know if I've ever broke one of those. I don't think I have. Like, the quality just gets a lot better, like, the more expensive, you're getting a lot better stuff. Uh, Good to thank you. Let's see here. 6-pound braid is great. I've been using the Berkeley 5-bit 8 or 9. I've been using the J8, the J braid. Yeah, that's another question. I like when people ask me questions and I don't understand. I'm like, it's hard to like, what's low cost to this person? I did a video a while back talking about that Shimano Zodius rod. It's a $209 rod. That's the most expensive rod I've ever bought. And I had somebody comment, "Oh, you think that's expensive? I buy $500 rod." I'm like, "Well, good for you, but so money and all expensive or not expensive is just up to every person, and it changes with how much money you make or what you think's expensive, not expensive. What I would have bought 10 years ago is totally different. What I'm buying now. To make a solid video, you're looking at all day kind of deal. Yeah. I have to make myself not go fishing when the weather is like several days nice in a row. I have to say no. You can't go fishing. You have to sit and make a video, even though it's like I'm like I just want to get out there. And then that's the reason that a lot of times I stay up late. I'll end up editing videos at night, and I get in a roll, and I'm working till 12 or 1, and then I'm like just on a roll editing, and then it just ruins me the next day. But yeah, editing is tough. Uh, let's see here. I got a few questions. Let's see here. Creek College says from fishing to upload the final product. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. Like I know some people they'll go out and fish. They come home, they edit that video that day, and like have it done. I go out and fish, and when I get back, I don't want to get right on the computer. I sit down and relax. I usually eat after fishing. Maybe watch YouTube for a little bit. Give myself a break, and then a lot of times I already have videos that I need to edit previously, and I'll go edit those. So I never like come home and edit that video right away. I like to kind of let it marinate a little bit sometimes too. Just let it, give some thoughts. Zeke says, "What are your thoughts on Shimano DC Baitcaster reels?" I think I have one. Feels good to me. I don't have a lot of baitcasters now. I love the Shimano spinning reels. I have several of those, and they're feel very great. What the biggest surprise today was seeing a fellow angler catch a 2+ pound goldfish. What? Virginia does not have a goldfish line record now. I have seen goldfish caught in a creek. I have a buddy used to work with. He caught a goldfish out of the creek in town. People throw fish in, creeks. I know there's a pond. There's a pond like 5 miles from our house. It's got goldfish in it. I don't think there's anything else in there but goldfish. So it's kind of funny. Yeah. On the rod. Yeah. I love the TFO like trout panfish rods. It's such a great rod for the money. They're $100. They're right around $100. And they're just it's just good. It's good stuff. It's not high end stuff. It's not low end stuff. It's just good stuff. Good quality to use. But yeah, you don't have to have a real expensive reel on that. Like a cheap Dio or Shimano for $30, $40. I think they make a 40 something dollar one. A lot of anything. Yeah, usually around $40 and up. Get a 1,000 size, 50 or a 1,500 size. A 2,000 size works too. Hey, John, watch the videos along with Creek College stuff. That's right. Okay, from Ohio. All right. Here's one from Seth Barrett. Here in Alabama, the law is you can wade creeks if you're not on private property. You know any good ways to search for creeks to know for sure you aren't trespassing? Whew. Nope, I don't. Because I take a lot of chances. I look for places where it looks like people go. Look for no trespassing signs. Look for fences. Don't I'm not crossing fences and stuff. So yeah, Alabama's probably the same as Tennessee's. And basically in Tennessee, if you're standing on the bottom, if you're walking in a creek, you're on somebody's property. Does that stop me? Nope. I figure out ways to do it. I try to go to places a lot of times that are like public areas or maybe business areas and like creeks that go between business and stuff. Like they're not even thinking about somebody fishing that creek. Like they're not worried about that. And then sometimes places out in the country, like a lot of people just go there, and you got to be careful about those places. You don't want to be going somewhere you're not supposed to go, but most time people put up a sign. Oh, Adam, thank you so much for the $10. Thanks for all you do. Keep up the good work. I'll learn something new almost every video. Wow, thank you for that. I appreciate that. I appreciate people that when they're like saying they learn stuff. That's because I'm trying to learn. That's what I'm doing. I don't know a lot about it. I'm always trying to learn. Public lands app will help you know what is public and private. Yeah, you can. There's some public land stuff. Is that an app? The public lands app. Yeah, Peach Fund makes some decent stuff. I have a lot of their things, and for a decent price range. Yeah, right. The creek call it. I know a lot of guys that use I can't the Daiwa Revros or no, not Revros. What is there's a Daiwa something LT. It's like a $50 reel, and they like use it all the time. And yeah, that's a good starting point. It's something you're not going so cheap, but it's also you're not breaking the bank. Oh, I didn't see it. There you are down there. Oh, thanks, man. Let's see here. Creek Fish Adventures is my favorite fishing channel. Yes. Will 10-pound braid work as well as 8-pound? What? What do you mean as 8-pound? Like braid or 8-pound line? I mean, 10-pound braid and 8-pound braid are pretty close. I mean, like the same thing. I'm looking for a solid ultralight combo under $100. Yeah, I don't know. That's what we've been talking about. I don't know. Maybe I'm maybe behind on comments. Oh, I'm way behind. But I would say try to find something for $150. Like find a $50 reel and $75 to $100 rod. Yeah. You'll be sitting there editing. I'll be sending you stuff nonstop. You won't have time to keep up. Oh, there it is. Appreciate Adam. Two people gave. Oh, Brian and Adam gave $10. I got mixed up. Appreciate that. Let's see here. Peterson Carbon X 2000 or Cast King Zephyr Carbon 2000. Ooh, good question. The Peterson Carbon X 2000 is a faster reel. I'm pretty sure. I'm very sure the Zephyr is not a 6.2 to 1. I think it's slower. The Zephyr is made more for like ultralight. Those are pretty good. Those are both pretty good. I don't know what the price difference are, if there are any. Both of those are solid. I have both of those, and I use them. So I have the Zephyr 1000. I love the Zephyr 1000 for an ultralight rod or ultralight reel. It's pretty good. And I have the Peacefin. I have the Carbon X 2002, and I've used them a bunch. I've been watching since about wow. Watched all your videos. Man, that's been a while. Fish with what you can. Why is there so many faces on here? All right, I'll say one thing about. Oh, hold on. Do you plan on trying more Dobyns rods? I really want to buy one of their Dobyns, one of their panfish rods. I want to buy one of theirs, but they don't have them anywhere to try out, so you have to like order online. I'll say this, and I'll probably end it here about rod and reels. Oh wait, hold on. I see another question. I caught my first smallmouth Tennessee in Gatlinburg. Yeah, yeah, that's a pretty good little area that a lot of people um don't. Well, I guess people do fish there, but it can get overlooked. Hey, Arms by Arms Family Homestead. What's up, Payne family? All right, so I'll say this, and I'm gonna end it about. I'll end it off talking about my first, like, not my first. When I first started my video, the rod and reel I was using that I went out and used a lot because when I got back into creek fishing, and that's when I first started making videos again, or when I first started making videos, I kind of just got back into creek fishing, and I didn't know a lot about rod and reels. I didn't know what a fast. I didn't know what. I hardly knew what an ultralight and a light. Like I didn't know there was light and an ultralight. Like I just thought it was like a bass rod, panfish rod. Like I didn't know what the action was. I didn't know a lot of stuff about rods. I need to try. I've been seeing the BPM rods, and I want to try one of those. But stay tuned. Next year, I could be selling a Creek Fishing Adventures rod. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. But I was using a $12 Shimano rod. It was a 5.5 foot. Like you can go, I think they're like $15 or $20, but you can go buy the cheapest like rod. They make a super cheap rod. And I remember I bought it. It was $12, and I caught so many fish off that rod. And I was using a Fluger Treon. I think the Treon is one of their like lower end reels. And I remember it was like $25, $30. And I had 6-pound line on that setup. And I used 6-pound high vis mono like for a long time. I still have that rod somewhere. I'll never get rid of that rod because I picked that rod up and I think, how did I catch fish on this thing? It feels so like cheap. And it is. And it worked. It caught me all kinds of fish. Bass, panfish. I would throw little lures on it because it's got 6-pound line. It was only 5.5 foot long. I would caught tons of bass. I just used it all the time, and it worked. Just go if you're just looking for something. If you're looking to get into fishing and buying, you're going to if you are serious about it, you're just going to buy more and more stuff. Like it's going to happen. There's no one rod and reel that I'm gonna tell you like, all right, if you go buy this one, you'll never buy another one. Because if you're really getting into it and like really, that's maybe one of your passions are, you're going to buy a lot of stuff. So buy the things you can buy and don't overspend on it. If you can buy higher quality stuff, you'll enjoy it way better than low quality stuff. Like that's for sure. If you buy a super cheap kayak, I bought a $300 kayak from Walmart, and I hate it. Yeah, I've heard that so many times. $1,000 kayak, it's a lot of money, but if it's something you want to do, you'll be way more comfortable in that kayak and just do it. And that's just things that older people try to tell younger people. Like I heard people tell me this, things like that. Just things you pass down. Higher quality stuff is just nicer. There's a reason why it costs more money. If it's something you want to do and something you want to be into, if all you can afford is a $12 rod and a $25 reel, that'll catch fish. Just be happy with that. Go out there and catch fish. When you can afford to get something better, get something better. If you can afford something better, and you're like, what's a good thing to start out with, and then just go buy something good, and then be happy with that. So I appreciate all the comments, and personal preference is with everything. There's what car you drive or what kind of vehicle do you have to have. Like I get caught listening to Dave Ramsey or something like that, and somebody called in and they said, well, we got to buy a new car because we just had a baby and our car don't have air conditioning. And he's like, well, what happened to all the babies 100 years ago? It's like, yeah, everybody think, yeah, you got to have air conditioning. I mean, you don't, but do you really have to? I've started a group on Fishbrain called Knee Deep Nation for all the creek. Hey, if you're on Fishbrain, go check out Knee Deep Nation. That's cool. Fish the Gram says, buy once, cry once. Hey, get it over with. Get something good. And then you're happy when you use it, though. If you buy something good, then you're like you get to enjoy it. If you buy cheap stuff, you like, and then you try somebody else's new stuff, and you're just like regretting what you have. So if you buy something nice, most of the time, yeah, get it over with. But you're gonna be happy. Yes, let's do it. I'm ready to do some fishing. I got plans to fish with a lot of people, and but my schedule's still pretty open, so I'm ready to do it. But anyways, I'm gonna get off here. It's been an hour and 5 or 6 minutes. A lot of people watching. I really appreciate the support, and hopefully next month we'll do it again. Recap. Hopefully I got some like new news on like what lures are working for me or how the creeks are going. Hopefully everybody else is getting into creeks are getting going, because that's really what I want to talk about on my live streams is kind of just really creek stuff. Of course, kayak stuff and things like that. But appreciate. Oh, last question. How's that Crescent Shelley doing? It is doing great. Been using it a bunch. So, all right, that's it. Talk to y'all later.